Today we're going to talk about solving for speed. As you know, speed is the distance traveled divided by the time interval which the motion occurred. This plugs into our formula, speed equals distance over time. That's how it is written out. S equals d over t is how it is with letters. You may have already learned this. In fact, you probably should have since it's a 7th grade benchmark. In math as rate. Rate equals distance over time. In science class we'll call it speed. In math class you called it rate. Same exact formula, same exact concept. So solving speed problems. There are 3 types of speed problems. The first one is the most simple. They'll give you the distance, they'll give you the time, you'll find the speed. End of story. The second 2, they'll give you one of the variables and speed and you find the other variable. So your options are they'll give you speed and time and you find distance, or they'll give you speed and distance and you find time. You may have to convert units in any of these 3. The beginning 2 steps are the same no matter which type of problem it is. The first step, you're going to identify what information they give you in the problem and what they want you to find. The second step will be plugging it into your equation. If, like I said before, you have to convert units, you'll do that in that second step as you're setting up your equation. So here's an example. Car 1 went at 45 miles per hour for 15 minutes, and car 2 traveled 12 miles. Which car went further? In this case, for car 1, they gave you the speed, the time, and they wanted you to find the distance. For car 2, they gave you the distance, and they ultimately wanted to know which car went further. So this is an example for that first type of speed problem, solving for speed when given distance and time. If you're following the steps, you should already have identified what you were given and figured out what you wanted and plugged it all into your formula. So your formula, speed equals distance over time. In this example, they say an object went 32 meters in 8 seconds. What was its speed? You plugged in 32 meters for distance, 8 seconds for time. You'll then just solve for the problem, so you'll divide and write out your answer with the units. The units is key. Without units, your answer will be marked wrong, and there will be test questions where they will give you the right answer for all 4 choices and only change the unit. It's up to you to identify what unit is important. The second option for problem is solving for distance when it gives you speed and time. Again, in this case, you should have already gone through and done steps 1 and 2. This problem is the same example from when we talked about steps 1 and 2, identifying what they want, plugging it into your formula, and converting units if necessary. In this particular example, again, we're back to car 1 went 45 miles per hour, 15 minutes, car 2 traveled for 12 miles, which one went furthest. In this example, there is a unit conversion. They give you car 1's speed at 45 miles per hour. They only tell you it traveled for 15 minutes. In this case, you'll be converting from minutes to hours. So you'll see there were 15 minutes in 15 minutes, and you're comparing that ratio effect to 60 minutes in 1 hour. If you do that together, you end up with 0.25 hours, 1/4 of an hour. So now you have 45 miles per hour equals X miles in 1/4 of an hour. Then you'll just solve for X and write out your answer with units. Car 1 went 11.25 miles. Car 2, they gave you, went 12 miles. They wanted to know which one went further. Car 2 went further.
In the front office. Raimundo Cervantes, in the front office.
Our last example is solving for time when given speed and distance. Again, steps 1 and 2. Read through the problem, find your formula, find what they give you, figure out what they want from you. This problem is pretty complex, so we'll go through it slower. A delivery driver drove at 35 miles per hour from the pizza store to Jesse's house, a distance of 5 miles. If it took 15 minutes to make the pizza, did the pizza get delivered in 30 minutes or less? So step 1, there's your formula, and you've plugged in what they give you. They gave you that the car drove at 35 miles per hour, and that it drove for 5 miles. In this case, you have to convert units again, but it wanted the distance. It wanted the time. So in this case, you have to convert units again. Now we are going from hours to minutes, whereas in the other problem we went from minutes to hours. So we've converted 1 hour equals 60 minutes, so you put 60 minutes there. 35 miles in 60 minutes equals 5 miles in X minutes. And this time you'll solve for X by cross multiplying and divide. And step 4, as always, write out your answer with units. So in this case, it went 23.57 minutes. Yes, It was delivered in 30 minutes or less.